I don't think I've ever seen more idiocy and ridiculousness and humor assembled in one place ever, except maybe inside a big top circus tent. Just incredible. We have some sound for you tonight. These massive rallies that were held across the country, 300 or 200 in Tampa, 3,000 in Texas, 150 in Des Moines, 30 in, I mean, just, but the sad part is, of course, all the media attention. This is like when you have a 4-year-old, trust me on this, and the 4-year-old starts throwing a tantrum. You have two choices. You can put her in timeout for a while, or you can just ignore it. If you put her in timeout, which occasionally we have to do, of course, that gives the little darling grounds for resentment. If you ignore it, amazingly, it just disappears because all of a sudden the 4-year-old realizes, nobody cares. Well, that's kind of the way I felt today. I flipped around through the channels from Fox News to Fox News to Fox News to Fox News because I really couldn't find it anywhere else. There were a couple of moments on CNN, a couple on MSNBC. MSNBC seemed to take the attitude of just mocking the hell out of it, which I think was a great attitude. CNN tried to report it as a news story. Fox News, how to describe what happened to Fox News today? Jesus, God. It was just astonishing. You know, at one point today, I got all depressed. I started thinking, you know, everything really is upside down and backwards. And granted, a lot of things are right now, thanks to 25 years of Republican rule. But when you take a different look. So we're in deep economic trouble right now, and it will probably get worse before it gets better, but eventually we'll pull out of it because eventually I think the power in this country, however that's divided now among corporations and government and civic organizations and unions and management, power will finally come to the realization that we've got to resolve this one way or the other. Now, if it goes the wrong way, I think decent Americans, not these mumbly pegs that were out in the streets today, but real Americans will exert some pressure on their elected officials. And if those elected officials don't respond, they'll put in new elected officials to bring some of this madness to an end. So looking at it from that point of view, it's a goddamn circus is what it is. It's a dog show. I mean, these people that I guess work is the word at Fox News and the people out on the street who responded to this madness today, it had to be comedy. I saw so many interviews with old people who are getting Social Security and Medicare. I saw people who obviously were getting SSI. They had to have been sitting there talking about how the taxes are too high. And every time somebody tried to point out, a reporter tried to say, look, are you in the top 3% of wage earners or 4% of wage earners in this country? No, I'm not working. Oh, okay, well, do you understand your taxes have been cut? That you're going to, hey, he's a socialist. He wants the queers to marry. I mean, just on and on and on today. To our international listeners, you know, all I can say is these people don't represent this country. I realize that the United States of America right now appears to be in its death throes, but it's not. It really isn't. We will get through this. And the idiots and the cheeseheads and the jerkballs will, cheeseheads, I don't mean the people that support the Green Bay Packers. Whoops. I just mean people whose brains are made out of cheese. You know, they will be pushed back into their rat holes and crannies and so on and so forth eventually. They don't represent America. They never have, and they never will. We've had moments of weakness in this country where some of these bastards like Timothy McVeigh have risen up and, blown up and murdered 168 people. But most of the time, the McVeigh types are the ones that we saw on television today, with one exception. They're cowards. Not that McVeigh was brave. He was a coward, too. That's why he attacked a building rather than, standing out in front of Fort Bragg, North Carolina, with an AK-47 and saying to the people inside Fort Bragg, come on out, you sons of bitches, I want to fight. No, the right-wingers never do that. They are cowardly down to the soles of their stupid-ass feet. So, to the people who listen to this program, and we do, we keep track through Google. What's it called, Kathy? Google. What's the thing where we know where people are logging on to the? You don't remember what it is? And I think we have listeners in about 90 countries. All I can say is, first of all, I apologize for any thoughts. I apologize as an American for any thoughts that you might have that this is what we've allowed our country to become. And I realize that's easy to think about because we are a torture nation. We did some horrible things over the past 8 years, horrible things. We have drained the world economy. The thieves and liars and sons of bitches that comprise our business and banking community on so-called Wall Street, every one of them should be jailed, and I realize in your countries they would have been. So it looks pretty grim. But what happened today, I mean, that stuff is real, and we are trying our damnedest to work through it, one way or the other. I think Obama administration will eventually realize that capitalism this time is not going to be saved, and we're going to have a mixed economy. But that's a different topic. The clowns that you saw on television today around the globe, these brain-dead, easily manipulable idiots do not represent America. They represent a very small fringe group of, granted, psychopaths and potential killers, but they don't represent the United States. Even the old ladies and the old men who were carrying pictures of Obama and making him look like Mao Zedong or, oh my God, even they, yes, they're capable of blowing up their rest homes or burning their SS checks in protests, but they won't. They're there because they're bored. We don't take care of our old people in this country the way we should. And a lot of old folks showed up because they're bored. Fox News is on all the time in their rest homes, and so they went out. But if you look at the videos that you saw today, no, they weren't all old people. I'm just saying that, that particular group. If ever a group relied on a steady source of tax revenue, it would be them. So you can see how crazy it is. But the other people, the fat, nasty-looking people, the not fat, nasty-looking people, the people with the signs, they don't represent America. Oh, sure, a lot of us are overweight, so what? I mean, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the ones that that they are obese because they have been drinking other people's blood. They're vampires, and we do have that in this country. So to the listeners in Argentina and Greece and Australia and the UK and Poland and Canada, I'm sorry. I really am sorry. Those people don't represent this country. They just don't. Now, when we come back, we're gonna let you hear some of this. Oh, it's just, oh my God.